All right, it's Tom with Nature's Nectar. I'm going to show you how to open up these packaged bees in a plastic cage. So what we have here is typically there's going to be a queen in there hanging. And where she's at, I'll show you on this live hive, there's a metal tab, and inside that, hanging off that tab, there's a wooden cage, and that's where your queen's at. All right? So for video's sake, I'm going to show you how to do this. As you can see, there's two plastic tabs. There's one there, and there's one down at the bottom. Now you're going to prep this to get this open. You're going to prep it before you do anything with the bees. So what you would do is keep it up like this, and you would end up sticking your hive tool in there and prying open. So you pry it, this little plastic piece right here, you're going to get it up and over this little bump. So you're going to do it on both of them. Then when you get it there, it's going to look like this. You know, it's prepped and it's still hanging on. There's a little gap there, but it's ready to open up. Okay? Now, typically you would spray your bees with your spray bottle, but if it's below 50 degrees, you probably won't even need to spray them, so don't spray them if it's below 50 degrees with the sugar water. Now, what you would do is after you get it prepped, you would take your cage and you'd bonk it down hard, and then you're going to take this can. And sometimes you have to wiggle it back and forth to get the can out. And then the queen's going to be hanging on that metal cage, or tab's going to be in there. And you're going to pull this queen out like this. And you're going to put her in your pocket, especially if it's cold. You want to keep her warm. Put her in your pocket. Now, you got your bees. You got your cage prepped. You would open this end of the cage. And dump in your bees. All right, thanks for watching. Hey everybody, it's Tom with Nature's Nectar. We're gonna do a package install with the plastic bee package cage, and we're gonna do a cool weather install. So first of all, get all your tools ready to go. So you have a spray bottle, which we will not be using. So we'll take that out of the equation. Typically you spray your bees, but it's gonna be below 50 degrees and it's not necessary to spray your bees when it gets that cold. You're gonna have a hive tool. You're gonna have a nail or a screw or something to get the cork out of the queen cage. And then I happen to have a queen cage hanger to make it even easier. Now what we've done is we've already prepped the box. So we got the entrance reducer on, and I've got the entrance reducer plugged up. So you wanna keep it plugged up for about 24 hours or at least overnight after you install a package. So now I put the hive in here and it's warming this whole hive up. I put the package in, it's warming the hive up. We got the frames on the outside. We're gonna take these frames and the frames that are in here are nice and warm. So when we install the package, we're gonna push these frames over and we're gonna add the cooler frames and keep those on the outside. We don't wanna chill the bees. All right? Get your tools out. There's the package. All right. One other thing, we're gonna do the marshmallow. So we got marshmallows, and that's gonna be for the queen cage, and I'll show you how to do that as well. It's a foolproof way. All right, got your package. Now we're gonna get this prepped before we do anything. Again, there's two tabs. They're on both sides of the boxes, on this side and that side. And we're gonna prep this tab. So we're gonna get this hive tool in there, and we're gonna pop it right over the top. Now it's ready. See, it's ready to pop open. We're gonna do the same with the bottom one. Now it's ready to go. So now you can just open it up and dump the bees in. Now here typically this is where we would spray the package, but again, it's cool today, so we don't need to spray them. You're gonna take your package, give it one good bonk, maybe two good bonks. Now you're gonna work this can out of there, and like I said, sometimes they can get kind of stuck in there because they start building wax on them. Can in there. Now your queen's hanging on this metal tab. She's in there, and she's hanging in on the wooden cage in there. We're gonna take her and brush these bees off. We're gonna get her in her pocket right away. You want to keep her nice and warm. Okay. So now the bees are prepped, and again, normally you would spray with sugar water, but as you can see, it's nice and cool and the bees are not flying. A little careful with this. These make it nice and easy, and the reason you want to dump it down on the side because there's this lip in here. And if you try to get the bees out of this hole, they're going to get stuck inside here. You can see how easy, if Jim can get the bee off the camera, see how easy that is when they dump them in like that. Okay? Now we're going to brush these aside, and you're going to flatten them out a little bit because the bees get piled up. So you want to flatten them out. Now we're going to take these frames, we're going to slide them over because these are the warm frames now. Now we're going to add some of the frames that were sitting outside. That. Now I'm just going to put the top on here real quick while I get the queen cage prepped. This is very important. See, she's running around. I'm going to try to do this a little bit quicker, but see, she's running back and forth. What you want to do is get that screw or nail, get that prep, put it in there, just wait. See, she's coming up to the top again. Just wait, you got time. When she gets down to the, oh, she came up to the top, I'm going to wait again. Popped it out, put your finger over the hole. Okay? Now I'm going to take your marshmallows. And you're just going to take one mini marshmallow. Again, wait till she's down at the bottom. See how quick that is? Just wait, you got time. Put the marshmallow in there. Now here's the most important part. When you go to take your finger off, as you can see, it'll stick to your finger. So just brush your finger to the side. Now it's prepped, ready to go. They're going to chew through that marshmallow in a few hours and release the queen. Make it one step easier, we have the queen cage hangers. So we're going to put this and we're going to go screen side down. Oh, let's go this way with it. We're going to screen side down. And this one's got a lot of wax on the cage. There we go, that's good enough. It's in there, the marshmallow's there. Place her in there and it just hooks right on there. Put those frames aside, and it's got a spacer so you can't smush the queen as long as the queen cage is down. There you go. Tom with Nature's Nectar. Tom with Nature's Nectar. All right, so we just installed the package, okay? So now we're gonna put the feeder pail on, and I'll show you the trick about the feeder pail. So when you get them, they have this tab on here, and you gotta pull this off. Or else every time you snap it on, it's gonna be real difficult to get this back off again. You can see the feeder pail has several holes drilled in it. That's why these feeder pails are just dynamite. Really good to use. Several holes, so over 30 or 40 bees can feed at one time with those feeders instead of a small little screen just in the pail. Now with the feeder pail, you have to at least fill it up 3/4 of the way to create the vacuum. If you only fill it up halfway or less, when you flip it over, invert it onto the hive, all the fluid's going to leak out because it doesn't create a vacuum. So if you ever have a pail that's leaking, that could be one reason. The other reason is the hive has to be, you know, somewhat level. You need it level. You can't have it at a slope because again, the bucket will tilt, air will get inside there, unrelease the vacuum, and all the fluid will flow. You basically, after you fill it up, snap the pail on. And again, these pails are opaque, so you can see through them. You can see the rubber gaskets that's on there. If you do not see the black on there, you haven't snapped it down good enough. And you simply place it on top of the hive. Now, if you have bees on the outside, you can just place the bucket that way and leave a small gap, and then the bees can come in and out again. Then you would take your empty deep, or if you don't have an empty deep, you can use 2 empty supers. Put it on top. Put your cover on. Then you're rocking and rolling. Tom with Nature's Nectar.